Welcome to the mighty United States Capitol. The Capitol is home to both the House of Representatives and the U.S. Senate, making it one of the world's most influential and powerful places. The magnificent building ahead of you is meant to reflect this status, which many people agree it does from its commanding location on top of Capitol Hill. The history of the U.S. Capitol dates back to late 18th century when George Washington signed the Residence Act of 1790, which made Washington, D.C. the capital of the United States. Pierre L'Enfant was made responsible for creating a city plan for the new capital. L'Enfant chose to locate the Congress House on the crest of the hill, today known as Capitol Hill. A hill he described as a pedestal waiting for a monument. Thomas Jefferson insisted that the building would be called the Capitol instead of the Congress House. This due to the fact that the word Capitol is a Latin word which actually means city on a hill. Jefferson had his will done, and this is why the building is known today as the United States Capitol. The construction of the Capitol began in 1793 when President George Washington laid the foundation stone. The Senate wing stood completed in 1800, while the House wing was completed 11 years later. By this time, the completed Capitol was only a small part of the building we see today. The building was lacking its dome, and it was not flanked by the other buildings you can see connected to it today. The completed building did not last long, as the Capitol was set on fire shortly after its completion during the War of 1812 against the British. The reparation work, however, went smoothly and brought it back to its former glory. The reparation work was followed by several expansions of the building in the mid-19th century. These expansions include the massive wedding cake-like dome, which shapes the Capitol building and has become the trademark we know today. The architectural planning was a joint effort of several architects. The initial design was done by amateur architect William Thornton, who designed it in a typical neoclassical style. Thornton was inspired by the Louvre in Paris and the ancient Pantheon. The inspiration from the latter is obvious when looking at the eastern facade with its temple-like entrance. The main dome was inspired by several European churches, including the Great Dome of St. Peter's Basilica in the Vatican and the St. Paul's Cathedral in London. If you look at the top of the dome, you will see that it is crowned by a large bronze statue. This statue is known as the Statue of Freedom, and it depicts a female whose right hand holds a sheathed sword, and in the other a laurel wreath of victory and the shield of the United States. She stands on an iron globe encircled with one of the national mottos, E pluribus unum, which is Latin for out of many, one. While the outside of the Capitol is magnificent, the same is very much true for the inside. The inside holds several famous paintings depicting major events in the discovery of America and the foundation of the United States. The inside also holds the National Statuary Hall collection, a collection consisting of statues donated by each state of the Union. Each state has donated 2 statues picturing notable persons in their history. Together, they form an impressive gathering of some of the most important people in the history of the United States. As of December 2008, the Capitol also has a visitor center with an underground entrance on the east side of the Capitol. The main function of the visitor center is to serve as a more orderly entrance for visitors to the Capitol. The Capitol Visitor Centers, however, provides much more than just an entrance. Inside you can find a visitors theater, room for exhibits, and dining and restroom facilities. You will also find a plaster cast of the Statue of Freedom down in the underground center, next to the stairs leading up to the Capitol itself. The total cost for building the underground, 3-level, 54,000 square meter Capitol Visitor Center was a stunning $621 million. The Capitol and the surrounding Capitol Hill is often host to political demonstrations and other major events, including presidential inaugurations held every 4 years. The building was ranked as number 6 in a survey conducted in 2007 with the objective of ranking America's favorite architecture. The list was dominated by the many monuments and memorials you can find here on the National Mall area in Washington, D.C., an area truly dedicated to the United States of America and its history. Many say that the Capitol, being the easternmost part of the mall, is the perfect crowning jewel of this magnificent area.